Week of Season 8 of the Amateur Dota 2 League. Season 8, I lied, Season 7. Season 7?
Dire team ban.
The most recent season of Amateur Dota 2 League.
Radiant team ban.
We have... This is the Champions League, by the way, so even though one of these two teams will go home tonight, maybe a loser, everyone's a champion here in this division. So we have EMPOW4, EMPOW4
10 seconds remaining.
versus Noodle's Way.
5 seconds remaining.
Getting in with some bans. Leshrac
Dire team ban.
and Bloodseeker, both pretty annoying to play against right now in our current state of Dota 2. And then Quaffapane. Pretty standard stuff going on right now.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds
And
remaining.
at this point, I have no knowledge of either of these teams, but I'm really excited to find
Reserve time.
out what they're gonna have in store for us this evening.
Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
First pick Shadow Fiend coming out for Noodle's Way. No big surprise there. Pretty all
10
around
seconds remaining.
great first pick. And
5 seconds remaining.
I've already gotten rid of the Quap.
Dire
that
team pick.
Sometimes can give the Shadow Fiend a taste of pain in the lane. Empower. I'm just going to call him Empower for the rest of the evening. Counter with the Earthshaker, who is still pretty standard stuff. No surprises coming out. It's probably going to be
10 seconds remaining.
I would suspect it's a support Earthshaker at this
5
point,
seconds
but
remaining.
you know, maybe we throw him in the off lane.
Reserve time.
Oh, I didn't talk about it, but the second ban coming out from Empower was the Undying. So pretty much, I mean, I think these are probably the 4 heroes of this patch. Maybe include Gyrocopter in there. That's like, if you don't know what the other team maybe specializes in, these are all good blanket bans. You know, at the high levels, you see more targeted bans for players and heroes, but down here in the Amateur Dota 2 League, we just hedge our bets. And we're going to go for Alina on Empower as our second pick. Alina does pretty well against Shadow Fiend in lane. Excuse me. So I'm going to assume that's a mid Lina, but we'll see how it goes. And the second pick coming out for Noodle's Way is the Rubik. He's already got 2 heroes with just full of juicy spells to steal. And there's that Gyrocopter ban. So that is, I think, all 5 of the heroes that are probably the most annoying to play against in this meta. They've got the boot, and now we're left with some creativity, which I'm glad. I'm glad we don't have to watch a Bloodseeker game. Although they are pretty entertaining to watch.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
The second band coming out from EMPOW4 is actually the Tusk, which has been seeing a ton of play recently in the pro scene. He's a pretty powerful hero. I mean, he gets first picked a lot. Secret likes to prioritize him, put him on, put Zai on it, and he's pretty boss on that hero.
10 seconds remaining.
But he's not going to be in this game, so we're not going to talk about him. Second band coming out for Noodle's way is the Anti-Mage.
Reserve time.
Scared of those big mana voids, maybe.
Dire team pick.
EMPOW4 is going to go with a Clockwork ban, which seems pretty reasonable. He can wreak all sorts of havoc on Earthshaker before he gets his Blink Dagger. ES isn't going to find any kind of initiation that is favorable with Clockwork in the mix.
10 seconds remaining.
Lena doesn't want to deal with Clockwork either. With her cast animations, like she can get a Dragon Slave out, but if Battery Assault's on, she's never going to get stunned. So if she gets hooked, and maybe Clockwork goes Blade Fury, or Blade Mail, excuse me. That's a sad Lena. So they get rid of the Clockwork, and they elect for the Phoenix. I'm going to guess that this all but confirms that this is going to be a support Shaker and offlane Phoenix.
Dire team pick.
Noodle's Way is going to counter the Phoenix pick with the Bristleback. Pretty tanky. I assume this is going to be the off lane for Noodle's Way. Probably no surprises.
Remaining.
I wouldn't suspect coming out from these lanes. So both teams know what the other teams is working with.
Reserve time.
Alright, so EMPOW4 taking a little bit of time to decide what they're doing, at least in this first game. They're down to almost 20 seconds of their reserve time. Looks like maybe Noodle's Way had a better or more concrete game plan going into the game. But anyway, they still aren't out, so we in it. Slark's going to be the fourth pick from EMPOW4. And it seems like a really good pickup with the Shadow Fiend Rubik Bristleback they were picking into. The lockdown on between those three is telekinesis, and that's not much. So
10 seconds remaining.
I feel like Slark was a good pickup there. They do pick up Lion on Noodle's Way pretty much. I don't want to say instantly, but pretty quickly after that Slark. So they wanted to go with another support that definitely had the lockdown and the burst. That Finger of Death is going to be pretty useful taking down Slark. And probably Phoenix too. Phoenix, you know, if he goes in and tries to tank a few hits before getting the Supernova off, he's got to watch out for that Lion ult.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
And last ban for EMPOW4 is going to be the Weaver. Maybe EMPOW4 recognizing that they don't have as much lockdown
Dire team pick.
as they would require. They don't have any silences coming out. Unless maybe Lena gets an Orchid, which is probably not ideal. So they just don't want to deal with that Weaver. The last ban for Noodle's Way is the Skywrath Mage. So they're scared of a targeted
10
silence.
seconds remaining.
Maybe we're
5
gonna go for
seconds
something.
remaining.
Maybe Noodle's Way. Want to
Reserve
set up
time.
for
10 seconds remaining.
maybe a Storm Spirit. We've been seeing a lot of that recently.
5 seconds
Maybe
remaining.
put the Shadow Fiend mid. Storm Spirit's safe. But we'll see what Noodle's Way have in mind, what they've got going on here. EMPOW4 going to pick up their last pick here for game 1 is going to be the Shadow Demon. It seems like this. Well, they've got two kind of defensive supports in the Shadow Demon and the Earthshaker. So I feel like the early game they're just going to kind of babysit their Lina and their Slark until they can get a hold of their game.
Reserve
and
time.
at that point, maybe they can try to get some pickoffs. Although we can do we can get nice little disruption into Fissure. Wouldn't be the worst, especially the Shadow Fiend's got to be really scared of that Earthshaker Fissure into Lina stun into more damage. Of course, everyone's always, afraid of damage. Except for Bristleback, he doesn't give. He doesn't actually care, he just rolls up in it.
Dire team pick.
No, the Magnus, so this is going to be this is throwing a little wrench into what I was talking about earlier about how these lanes were so decided. Maybe it's Magnus middle, Shadow Fiend safe lane, or Bristleback safe, Magnus off lane. Not quite sure, but the great thing about this is we will see shortly. But that Magnus pickup does line up with the Skywrath Mage ban, that instant silence if they've got Vision of Magnus and he precast. So maybe they're thinking of perhaps a Tide Hunter or Magnus, and then we're going to see how it goes from there.
For battle.
And let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to try to make this quick because it looks like EMPOW4 is making a beeline for the jungle of the Radiant. So on EMPOW4 we have V on this Phoenix, which I assume is going to be off lane. Pilom on the Shadow Demon. Fear the Reaper going to be standing in. He's going to be playing your carry Slark. Captain Canuck is most likely going to go mid with this Lina. And then last but not least we have Infineon on the support Earthshaker. And they're going to make a pretty aggressive smoke here at the tier 2. Wrap around into the Radiant jungle, but looks like they might not. Oh, they might run into the Bristleback here. This would probably be the least.
30 seconds to battle.
I hear they want to run into least, but they're all 5 here. They got the Lina stun. They're going to get the Fissure block, and that's going to be a dead Bristleback. Stuns are chained pretty nicely. They got the pounce right after that Lina stun, and then the Fissure to block him in. So even though it was a Bristleback, usually pretty tanky with all 5 from the Dire there. There's not much you can do about it. And they do leave this ward here to block the camp, make Phoenix's lane a little bit better, a little bit easier. And before we get too much further going, well, we could have some aggression here. I'm trying to get the telekinesis on the Shadow Demon, but it's not gonna be there. So we'll go back, hit some creeps for a little bit. On the off lane for Noodles, we've got Dr. Zeus playing that Magnus. We've got, oh man, my eyesight. We've got Brunner on your support Rubik. Mid, we've got Supa stand in here for Noodles. Maybe, I don't know. On your Shadow Fiends, you got safe lane Bristleback, like we mentioned before. So they did throw a little bit of a wrench in there. Alex is going to be playing your safe lane Bristleback, And then
Consider yourself denied.
just Noodles on Team Noodles is going to be playing your support Lion. He's going to be stacking up some jungle camps for that Shadow Fiend. And I feel like this lane's going to be pretty... Nothing's really going to happen because Icarus Dive's going to make... You know, Bristleback's not going to kill this Phoenix unless the Phoenix gets too aggressive, and the Bristleback's a little bit too tanky. So I think most of the action is going to go up on here. We've got kind of an aggressive dual aim going into this Slark Shadow Demon Earthshaker lane from EMPOW4. I'm not quite so sure about what they're going to get done here with all the lockdown they have from EMPOW4. It feels like it's going to be a pretty tough time. And in the mid, we've got Shadow Fiend versus Lina. These first few levels might be a little bit difficult for Lina. She's going to get the stun off, but she's taken a few too many hits already, and she can't pursue uphill. But, oh, no, we don't want net worth. We want last hits. Nice. So, try to make it go. Maybe just get some damage on this Slark, but with just the telekinesis... Oh, well, we might have another kill here. Yep, we certainly do. And looks like we might have another one here.
Haste.
Getting aggressive. Yeah. Archer comes in with the fissure to stave off some of that aggression, but Noodle's coming out strong in this 2v3 situation. Caught the Earthshaker sleeping maybe a little bit, because I feel like he could have saved that Shadow Demon. But yeah, just I guess the Fable Shockwave Skewer and a couple right clicks was enough to take out that Shadow Demon. So maybe the positioning wasn't the best. Slark almost going down to just these shockwaves from the Magnus. He's gonna have to head back to base. He doesn't have enough. He doesn't have any regen left. Maybe that's why they were playing so aggressively. They saw that he had no regen left. Rubik brought a bunch of regen to this off lane, and Magnus hasn't had to burn through too much of his. So it's actually working out for Noodles here in their Rubik Magnus off lane, which is something you don't see every day, or ever, actually. Down here we've got Bristleback going against the Phoenix. He's enjoying most of the last hits. Of course, he's better attack animation. You know, he feels better in this lane. He's not going to kill the Phoenix, but I feel like he's going to do a little bit better. He's 11-7 against this Phoenix is 5-1, so he's actually doing pretty great. Lion hasn't done much. He's been stacking some camps. Oh, and I do miss a kill up here. Looks like they fissure into Soulcatcher into Pounce was the kill on that Rubik. So it's a pretty dangerous lane. I'm surprised that didn't happen earlier. But the 4-minute runes come out. Shadow Fiend gets a bounty, and Lina heads down here, and she's gonna find an invis. Let's see if she's pretty low mana. One ball charge isn't gonna give her enough to go on the Shadow Fiend, I think. So we'll see what comes of it. Try to keep an eye. Shadow Demon comes out. He has the disruption. Fissure's there. It doesn't hit on the Rubik, but the Pounce is there, and looks like it's going to be enough damage to take down the Rubik. Magnus tries to even it up with a kill on the Earthshaker, but it's not going to be enough damage. He does have a bottle though. He's got a shockwave up, so nah, the Earthshaker's heading back. I think the Earthshaker, yeah, he's heading back. So that's how I expected this lane to go before. Maybe EMPOW4 were maybe shaken up a bit when they first saw this dual lane. Alright, so what I was trying to say earlier, Lion's been stacking these camps, so when I say he hasn't done much, he's actually done quite a bit to stack up these camps. Shadow Fiend's probably going to get his level 7 off of this, and he's using these camps, and he's getting way ahead of this Lina, who's about to crack level 6 though. That burst damage can be pretty deadly for anyone, any of the players now on Noodles. Lion's gonna finally enjoy some XP. Alright. We got TP in for Earthshaker. Looks like they are going to look for the Magnus. They know he has a bottle. They know he might be trying for it. And they have this ward up here, so they do see it. But Noodles also has a ward right on top of there, so he sees it. And he's going to dodge. And Lena's going to pick up that DD. Shadow Fiend is back at base, so bottom room is going to be untaken. Oh, Magnus is going to hop on down there for it. We have smoke from EMPOW4. They're going to wrap around and see if they can catch this Shadow Fiend. He's got the Lion here for backup, but if the Lion goes to stack... Oh, we might get it here. Oh, no, he didn't. Smoke popped. Their angle here in the river was maybe a little too aggressive. Smoke pop before you get the disruption off, and Shadow Fiend will be happy with that because his Lion was already booking it. And now we have a Arcane Boots picked up on Magnus. He's going to get disrupted here. I don't know if there's going to be any follow-up. Yeah, he's a little too far away. But Magnus will take that. He gets a Shockwave on a Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon has to probably go back. He doesn't have... he's got his boots. He doesn't have the Shrinks yet. Let's look at some last hits. So, Shadow Fiend, clearly the leader. Phoenix is going in here on the bottom lane, but I guess he might not have realized that there was a Rubik here. But he's got the Supernova. Is he gonna get it off though? He gets Hex. Oh man, that was definitely the play he was thinking of. He says, "All right, I'm gonna dive in, deal a little bit of damage, take a whole bunch of damage, and then I'm gonna shoot a Supernova, and maybe get a kill." But I guess he didn't expect this Rubik and the Lion to be here in this lane. Lena comes down here to get a little bit of farm and to let Shadow Demon have some experience mid, or maybe they're just scared to go up against this hugely beefy Shadow Fiend in mid. Up top we've got Magnus. Oh man, gets so close on that RP. That would have been, I think that would have been kill for sure. He would have gotten the RP into a skewer and a shockwave. That would have definitely been a kill. Tries to make the plays, but it doesn't quite turn out for Dr. Zeus here in the off lane. We're gonna have a wraparound by the Slark. He gets the pounce. He might be able to do it himself. Yep, doesn't even need the Earthshaker. Earthshaker's coming in for a Fissure. Slark says, "I don't even need it." And yeah, happy Slark, sad Magnus. Invis picked up by Lion though. Maybe we can get something going here, but it looks like EMPOW was onto it. They maybe saw that. Yeah, they definitely saw it. They've got a ward here on the room, so they saw that get picked up by the Lion, and they don't want none of that. So Lena dips to mid. It's gonna go check top rune. It's already been taken. Let's go ahead. We're into the game a little bit. Let's go ahead and check out some net worth. Shadow Fiend is the top of the pile here. Oh man, he's got a big stack here too, so he's gonna get even further. He's a little bit ahead of the Slark, and then we have Lena neck and neck with the Bristleback. Magnus, let's see how close he is. He's not very close. He went for bottom into Arcane Boots, so his Blink Dagger is going to be a little bit to come out here. Try to get aggressive maybe on this Phoenix, but the Icarus dive doesn't get the telekinesis off. Rubik's taking a lot of damage here, but he'll be okay. And he's going to go... Oh, just jukes that. Jukes that. He's going to try for the Shockwave, and he's... Oh, just barely misses it. He's got one more in 4 seconds if he can get it, but nope. Oh, he just misses it. That Fisher's going to stop him, and it looks like this is going to be Dr. Zeus. Man, this poor guy. He's been so close to making plays on this Slark, even with the Shadow Demon and the Earthshaker there.
Dire's middle tower.
Lena goes for the deny mid. Oh, looks like she's going to pay for it. Yep. She does get the deny, but that Hex comes through, followed by the Impale and the right clicks, and the raises a Shadow Fiend. That's going to be a dead Lena. So Magnus even further from his Blink Dagger. Bristleback, he's got treads and a belt of strength. Maybe he goes for St. Joshua. I'm thinking probably on this Bristleback here. Rubik pretty dirt poor. He's got brown boots and a TP. That's a TP. You know, nothing really. So Shadow Fiend's going for the mech. He's got And the recipe, he's got the recipe for the mech and the headdress. Doesn't have the buckler quite yet, but he'll be there. He'll be there soon enough. Let's see what we've got. Oh, he does. He has the rest of the has the buckler there. So mech out on Shadow Fiend at just before 11 minutes. Looks like Magnus here is he's gonna probably go for a play. Hits the skewer, doesn't get the damage on it though. Doesn't quite connect with that. Had almost the right angle here. He's got a shockwave here, and if the Earthshaker sticks around, looks like he might eat one, but they've got this ward planted. They see exactly what's going on. They ping it out. They see the lines coming up. They say, hey, you can get a quick pick on this Earthshaker here, but he's already dipped out. He's home. Lena's camping down here mid. They don't have vision of this on the Radiant, and Radiant's pinging it out, but this mech's going to make it so hard. He's got a haste on Shadow Fiend. Oh, they're chasing down the Lena. The Icarus dive from Lena, or from, excuse me, sorry, for Rubik. Oh man, that was too much, too fast. And oh man, Phoenix gets his ult off, and he's going to chase down the rest of the Radiant. Oh, doesn't quite get it. Maybe the Rubik burns down. But the Shadow Fiend had those one charges to keep him healed up, and he heals up with a bottle. Shadow Demon, though, he's going to get a pick off on the Bristleback. Looks like he stayed around just a little bit too long. Magnus is here. He's got his RP, but I don't know if he'll find the opening. We've got 2 wards posted up here. So they've got the double vision for extra security. Sark at the same time, he's just hasn't been messed with too much after this Magnus. Those 2 deaths in the offlane, I feel like Magnus, those are pretty costly for him. So he says, you know what, I'm just gonna run around and do other stuff because this isn't working for me in top lane. Yep. So St. Josh are coming out soonish for the Bristleback. Lena's gonna go for this top rune. He's got her phase boots on. Getting close-ish to he's about halfway to his blink dagger almost. And Lion, he's searching, he's so close, he wants that level 6. And looks like they were setting up to make a play, but Dyer's got full vision of this. So they don't want any part of that. Shadow Fiend's still in the net worth lead here. He's gonna look for some camps in the Dire jungle. Oh, he says, oh, double stack? I'll take that. Thank you very much, Dire. Says you guys can have the small creeps. Slark's gonna be first item. He's gonna move into a Shadow Blade. Magnus is looks like he's gonna try to make a play here. Oh, but he gets purged. He gets this. RP goes off, but they get the disruption onto the Slark, and he looks like he's gonna be okay. Oh, almost gets the Fabled off, and there's a shockwave that takes out the Slark. We have the Phoenix coming in from behind. The Egg's gonna go off, gets the Magnus kill, but he's gonna sacrifice his life for it. Lena's gonna come in. Probably gonna look for a Laguna Blade here, but Noodles is here with the Hex. He's getting so close. He's not gonna make it. Lena was looking for something to kind of clean up some kills there, but also overall a really good fight. Really good fight for Noodles. They get. Where did this guy die? This was down here, so he looks like he died to the Bristleback while that was going on. So looks like a 3-for-1 here in the top. They lose the Phoenix, the Slark, and the Shadow Demon, all for the Magnus. That RP was pretty clutch. We have a DD on the Shadow Fiend. It looks like Lena could be in danger. They're trying to juke the stun, but the phase boots are going to make him. He's going to run a little too fast for Shadow Fiend here. He says, you know what, I'll just farm these creeps. Almost had Bristleback a little too close for comfort there. Slark gets in, but he just TP's out. I mean, the Slark was so close right before that whole team fight up top. Slark almost had enough money. Actually, I thought he had enough money for the Claymore, but he's gonna go for the Shadow Amulet or the Shadow Blade first, and then the second item coming out on the Shadow Fiend. We got the Blink Dagger already. 15 minutes. He's doing pretty well. He's doing pretty well for himself. 4-0-1. Yeah, Stannon definitely paying dividends here. Keep an eye on him to see where he goes after this. He's almost double the net worth of the Slark. So maybe all those plays that Magnus was messing with the Slark the whole time in lane, even if he got killed, making space for a Shadow Fiend, he was going to stack up a nice little camp for him.
Mega kill!
Impale onto the Luna, we get the Hex, and oh man, perfectly chained. Didn't even need the Hex. This line's gonna get a solo pick on that Luna, and that's gonna be, man, that's a great pick off for him. Just gets the Impale into a few right clicks and the Finger of Death. Earthshaker gets a Fissure onto 3, but I think he's gonna go down for it anyway. Tries to Echo Slam, doesn't get any mileage out of that. The Shadow Fiend's a little bit, I mean, he's got neck treads, he's pretty fat. Pretty fat. Looks like Blink Dagger is going to be coming out. Yep, Blink Dagger is picked up now by the Magnus. They've got RP. They say, guys, let's force this tower. Let's force the fight. They don't know we've got the Blink Dagger. Oh, but also at the same time we have the Slark Shadow Blade. Neck keeping up everybody. He's getting a lot of really crucial vision here. Opens up to goes on the Slark. RP into the Requiem. He's gonna go down. And it looks like on the other side of that, the Phoenix went down. But this Shadow Fiend, he's just taking him to the cleaners. Lena's gonna go down. They're chasing after. They get the Hex up on. Get the Hex up on the Shadow Demon, get the Impale on him too, maybe get a couple raises and some right clicks. That's going to be the death of the Shadow Fiend. And he's going to blink forward and gets the raise on. Gets the raise on the Earthshaker. Man, this Shadow Fiend is definitely super. He is spitting hot fire. He might in fact be a rapper. So a 4-for-1, Rubik being the lone casualty on the Radiant side. They said, you know what, we'll take that. We will take that, and we're going to take this tower too. They didn't even need the Blink Dagger on the Magnus there for that RP because of the... I feel like that Slark initiation was a little bit aggressive. He kind of went on the Rubik in the middle of everybody, and then gets lifted, and then gets RP'd into Requiem. Maybe he didn't really plan that one out too well. So Sange and Yasha finished up on our Bristleback here. He's second on our net worth charts, and then the third actually is going to be this Magnus. They're going to go into Roche. He gets a double damage, and he's hitting like a truck. Level 3 Presence of the Dark Lord. Now they're going to get some goo in here, and this is going to be a pretty easy Roche for the Radiant side. They don't have much of an idea of what's going on. Oh, Slark's in here. He sees, but he's a little too late with that Shadow Blade trying to come in here for pick-off, at least some scouting. He was looking around the Radiant jungle while all that was happening, so he was a sad Slark to find out they were just mere feet away, bashing in some heads. But 17-9 here at the 19-minute mark. They get the Aegis up on Supa, and they said, let's just gonna knock down some of these towers. They're drawing a plan on the minimap here. Maybe they're electing to maybe the fake back, maybe smoke anywhere. Nope, they're just waiting for creeps. Blink Dagger picked up on Lion. I'm not sure when that was, but that's definitely gonna be a pain in the ass for Slark. He's gonna get Blink Hexed. Blink Impale on the Luna. Let's see if anything else comes of it. We have RP up, we have Requiem up, we have Mech. We have everything we need, but it looks like... Oh, he gets the Blink Skewer into the Lena. And... Oh, Fissure stolen by Rubik. Sets that up pretty well. Gets the RP onto 3, and the Requiem, he doesn't even need it. Impale, Finger not even needed. We just got burst damage everywhere. That Fade Bolt, Bristleback Spines. Doesn't even need the Requiem to get that 4th one. That was a beautiful RP from Dr. Zeus. He says, you know what, I missed those RPs earlier in lane. These are the ones that really count. They've still got the Aegis up on Supa. They're taking this tier 3 at 20 minutes. Looks like they're gonna take both of these racks through the middle, and not much that this Shadow Blade or Venom Slark can do. Just chilling in base, waiting for his team. Actually, I lied. He's pushing out bottom, getting a little bit of work done on around the map, but
Dyer's middle barracks have fallen.
And Radiant are going to go straight towards that bottom racks. They've got mech up in 10. They still have the Aegis of the Immortal on Shadow Fiend. Echo Slam comes in, does a lot of damage, but he gets chunked down anyway. Phoenix comes in with the egg, but looks like he might get it off. Oh, gets so close. Perfect for the Dire here. This is going way better in their favor. Slark comes back, and then the Laguna Blade is going to even, take out that Shadow Fiend. So a really great hold by Powa. It seems that was a really greedy play coming out from Nude. They didn't have, I guess they didn't have the RP, but they had the finger. They didn't even get to use the finger. That Blink Echo Slam. He didn't have a blink. He just, I guess, waltzes in. Yeah, I was wondering how that happened so well. He gets an Echo Slam on 3. They don't have RP. The counter initiation isn't there. He gets the fissure off into an egg. So a 5 for nothing trade. So Power is still holding on. They lost that mid racks, but that's gonna give Slark enough money to finish up this Silver Edge. So that's gonna help him a lot against these Bristleback. The Bristleback in these fights. Tries to get a blink hex on the Phoenix. Phoenix just floats casually away. Actually, excuse me, that would be a 6 for nil. Oh no. Maybe you didn't see it. Maybe you're just hoping for a regen or something. I don't know. Looks like he's gonna be a dead Earthshaker here. Puts him further away from that. Oh man, puts him further away from that Blink Dagger and Rubik Steel's Fissure. That was a bad day. Bad few minutes for Earthshaker there. Slark's trying to be sneaky. He's pushing out this top lane. They've got a big wave here, and he's maybe seeing if someone comes to farm it, but he's just gonna push it out. Radiant grouping up his 5 here in the bottom. Rubik has picked up a Glimmer Cape, excuse me, jeez. And they're gonna force. Alright, BKB picked up on Shadow Fiend. That's gonna be pretty significant, especially against these Earthshaker or Shadow Demon initiations. They chunked down the creep wave pretty well, and they're going to go straight onto this tower here. They've got the RP. Where does he go? Yeah, he's got the RP. He's waiting back. He's got a 4 staff just in case. Yules up out onto the Shadow Fiend. Just sidesteps to the dodge. Blink in from Lion. He's going to try to burst down the Shadow Demon. Doesn't quite get it. Earthshaker comes in with a... Oh gosh. This Echo Slam into the egg. Egg doesn't go off. I mean, that was looking so good, but the Earthshaker gives up his life in that Echo Slam. And Powa make a hold. Another complete team wipe for Powa. And they only lose the Earthshaker and the Phoenix. They're definitely getting... these Echo Slam initiations off into the egg, which is huge. And once you get those Fire Spirits out on the Shadow Fiend, on the Bristleback, the other 3 on Radiant can't really do much to take care of that egg. They ended up killing it, but they took a lot of damage. In the meanwhile, they tried to burst down the Shadow Demon, but the Shadow Demon's picked up an Aghanim Scepter. Holy crap, where did that come from? Yeah, this is a pretty farm Shadow Demon. I haven't checked up on his item progress at all, but yeah, he's got an Aghanim Scepter. That's going to be hugely beneficial when trying to take out this Bristleback and the Shadow Fiend. Slow them to a crawl. Let Lina, Slark do as much as they can. So Slark now sitting on 4K. He's moved into the 2nd place on our net worth chart here. Let's see what we've got. Bristleback looks like he's going into a hood. Lion looks like he's gonna be trying to build into his own Aghanims. He saw how bunched up everyone got in these team fights, especially they've got the RP. You want to get that dream RP into finger everybody. That'd be super sweet to see. Keep an eye out on that. Slark going in on the Bristleback. Oh, they're gonna get the Hex into Impale, into the RP, into the Finger of Death. That's one dead Slark. He maybe saw the Bristleback when he was pretty low. I guess it was a really close call there. He almost got the kill, but Rubik was there with the Glimmer Cape save. All is right. So it looks like Shadow Fiend's going, he's getting an ultimate orb. Probably going to be moving into Scotty next. Roche will be up in probably about a minute. Yeah, just right at about a minute. Right? Nope, I lied. That's when we're gonna find out when he comes up. So he'll be around soon. This tower's getting pinged out by the Dire. They're just gonna deny it. It had exactly 1 HP.
Has been denied.
It wasn't gonna get much off in a fight anyway. Now these ancient stacks are gonna be taken by the Shadow Fiend. He just keeps feeding. He's pretty gluttonous. He's just taking everything. Phoenix Tranquil Boots into Urn, and then looking for a Shiva's Guard next. Didn't elect to go for a Midas, so he's going to be a little bit underleveled. He's only level 13 here at 26. I guess that's not too bad, but his net worth is a little bit less. The Shadow Demon just came out of nowhere with his Aghanim Scepter. Make sure I don't miss anything. Speaking of not missing anything, now we get the Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker. He just went straight Brown Boots into Blink Dagger. He said, you know what, I've been dying a whole bunch. I'm just going to keep these brown ugly things on my feet, and we're just going to go straight for the Blink Dagger. And they get the Blink Dagger, and then they're immediately going to group up and look for a pickoff. No smoke anywhere, but maybe they can try to force... Oh, they see the Shadow Fiend, but they know he has a Blink Dagger, and they got BKB. He's pretty tanky. He's probably the last person you want to find. Slarks. This is where he was earlier, and he found that Bristleback in the woods. Almost got the pickoff on him, but it didn't quite turn out. Slark going for his Scotty as well, so he's almost got it. He's about 700 away from the Scotty. Smoke coming out for the Radiant. I'll try to talk a little bit softer here. No, smoke comes out for the Radiant, and they leave Bristleback to farming. They've got RP up. They've got a haste in the Magnus bottle, and they're ready to find a pickoff. They don't have... The only thing I don't see... Oh, they've got the dust on the Rubik. Okay. So he's ready in case they see that slippery Slark going around. They smoke. They're going to try to check... They're going to check Roche. They don't see it. He's going to be up pretty close. They get a ward up, and they're going to pop their smoke to get those wards down from the Dire. Slark's going to come around the back. I don't think he wants to go on this. Nah, he's gonna run away. He's not gonna gung-ho it like he did that one fight near that Dire bot on tier 2, and he got popped pretty quick. But he will run into the Shadow Fiend here, and he's gonna think about it. He doesn't have any backup, and he sees... Oh, he goes for it anyway. We got an engagement on two sides. We got the Shadow Fiend being gone on by the Slark over here, and at the same time, the Magnus goes down to that Lina Yules into stun. Shadow Fiend comes in with a BKB, chunks down the egg. Oh man, that is an unhappy Phoenix. Lina's stuck on the cliff here. He's gonna get knocked down. But Earthshaker looks like he doesn't have enough mana for his Echo Slam. That was definitely not the engagement he was looking for. And it looks like the Slark's gonna make it out. Oh, Shadow Fiend gets the gets the raise to finish off the Shadow Demon. And man, that was an all-over fight. They probably Dire were thinking, okay, we'll engage on this front, and then Slark come in from the back. But Slark went on the Shadow Fiend, and Shadow Fiend just BKB'd and then ran in, Requiem'd, and then hit the egg a whole bunch. So that was not the engagement they were looking for. We didn't get the Echo Slam off. It started out, I guess it started out pretty well for the Dire. They Laguna Blade the Magnus down, so there's no RP, so they feel pretty confident about it, but just didn't quite turn out. The Shadow Fiend's a little bit... He's pretty out there right now. He's picking up his Scotty right... Yeah, he's gonna have his Scotty right now. So... 30 to 21 here at the half-hour mark. Roshan going down right after that fight. That's one of those... Both teams knew that Roshan was going to be up soon, so they wanted to start a fight around Roche. Whoever wins gets the Roche. And, you know, assuming they don't win too... Or don't, you know, win too closely, I guess? You know what I'm trying to say. But they still have RP, and now they have the Aegis. They have the Scotty up on the Shadow Fiend. He's going to swagger down this bottom lane with the rest of the team in tow. They already know that the tower is down because they saw it get denied earlier. So looks like we're gonna have a battle for some racks. Let's see, we gotta pick up. We get the BKB on Magnus. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be. They're definitely gonna wait for that. Oh, they do smoke. They come in. 5-man smoke up the middle. They just miss it. They pop the hood, and pop the pipe. Excuse me. So looks like they're gonna go in. Echo Slam. He blinks in. We're gonna get Slark's gonna go on the line. He's gonna get stunned up. RP just goes out on nobody. It looks like he's gonna get chunked down anyway. Oh, he faked the RP out. My bad. Egg's gonna come out. He's gonna get it off, and it looks like it's turning out pretty well. The Slark's still alive. The Aegis still up on the Shadow Fiend though. And yeah, it looks like this engagement's gonna go the way of the Dire. Shadow Fiend's gonna blink out after his Aegis is popped, but a really good play. The Earthshaker saw them standing around all those tasty creeps, and he's like, you know, I'll just echo. Oh no, the Shadow Fiend's getting caught out. He gets Yules, gets picked up, slammed, and then gets pounced on. Man, that was
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I don't know what the Shadow Fiend was doing here. I was talking and I figured everyone was dipping. The Rubik had gotten out, and the Shadow Fiend was still there? I don't know. So Shadow Fiend goes down, loses Aegis, and Noodles, they try to pull a tricky play smoking into the center lane there, but it doesn't pan out for him. Let's see, we got, after that, a little economic development. We got Ags up on Lena, so
thank you.
This Magnus, he's gotta be pretty careful. He's only got 1300 HP.
Radiant's middle tower is under
even
attack.
Even if Yules into
don't waste your time.
Gets a few right clicks off on him if he BKBs after that, they can still chunk him down with that Laguna Blade. Rubik does pick up a Blink Dagger. This is gonna help him with some of their initiations. He's stuck in the trees, but he's out now. Yep, and it looks like it's gonna settle down here for both sides after those two basically wipes. When the Radiants tried to break this base, so they've got to be thinking like, what can we do? Like, what's the next plan? Do they wait for the Roche because they had the Roche, they had the Aegis there, but it didn't seem like it mattered all that much. So they're probably scratching their heads thinking, well, it looked like it was going to turn out pretty well. DD pinged out by the Shadow Fiend. He's probably just going to go hit some creeps. Nope, now he's got the haste. Oh, maybe he might go hunting. He picks up a Chrysalis, so he's going to be hitting pretty dang hard, especially with the Empower. The Empower? The Empower. Man, it's Empower. BKB picked up on Slark. That's going to help him a lot, especially against these Requiem. He really wants to get right up on people, and if that happens to be the Shadow Fiend, then that BKB will definitely help. So they're grouping up here around the Ancients. Probably waiting for that Chrysalis. Roche spawns in 4 minutes, so they might want to wait for that. Bristleback going for Point Booster next. Ogre Club Point Booster. Mishmash of items over here. Oh, Lion's almost got his Ags up. Yeah, they're probably gonna wait for that. He could just take maybe a creep camp and a half if Shadow Fiend wasn't so greedy. Oh no, wait, I lied. He's 2 parts away from it. I was seeing things. So he says, you know what, I can wait. I got time. Well, the Dyers have been seeing like this whole movement. They have this great ward up, and they saw everyone kind of move towards this, at least this half of the map, so they know that there's someone over, or they're headed that way. Slark Silver Edge is in. He's got this. He's got his BKB, so he's not afraid. But they're knocking, and no one's home. Same story, different side of the map. Radiant go looking for, you know, both teams at the same time. You know what? It'd be a perfect time for a smoke into the jungle. And it looks like Radiant realizes what's going on. And they're going to try to swoop around. Maybe catch someone at the Ancients, but everyone on there is going to TP back. They see that creep wave's getting pretty close to their base. Magnus jumping in, trying to make something happen. He just hops in and glides out. Just makes EMPOW4 sweat a little bit. Yep, and I guess after those 2 failed smokes, we'll just go back to massacring these poor helpless animals in their homes for gold. But actually, wait, I lied. We have a pick out trying to come out on the Shadow Fiend. That purge is going to go through the BKB, and the Fisher blocked. Oh, that's such a great block. We're going to get the Shadow Fiend. He was way out there. I don't know how he got picked out in the first place. What he was doing hanging out there so far. Maybe he felt safer with the blink and the BKB, but he doesn't have a TP, so I mean, you can BKB, but this demonic purge is gonna make it you just basically have to stand there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And that's what happens. Doesn't have his TP up on him. And that's what happens. Jim True Sight on the Slark. Gonna be looking for these wards. He actually, yep, already sees one. Let's see what else we got going on here. Looks like Lina has got a chunk of change here in the bank, but still holding on to Magic Stick.
Radiant's middle tower is taking a drubbing. Radiant structures, they're fortified.
Slark trying to pick up this.
Radiant's middle tower
he might get. Oh, yeah. That was a close one. BKB's in just the right time. He's got a. Oh man, tries to Glimmer Cape, but he had the gem, and now he picked up. Oh man, that was a pretty bad pickup. Pretty bad pickoff for the Radiant. That was pretty awful. He thought he could blink in to get the telekinesis off, or the blink in Hex. Both are immediate, but Slark had the faster fingers, gets the BKB off, kills the Rubik, and gets the second gem of the game.
Illusion.
And looks if they're hanging around. The Dire's chilling. They can see, or they know that Roche should be up soon. He'll be up. Maybe the bird just squats a bit up. Yep, and there he is. And it looks like Noodles are in no shape to contend this. Yeah, dead Rubik. They've got a ward out up here. Actually, both teams placed some wards. So we both want to see this spot. And Dire just goes straight into it. They know they've got probably a better team fight if they don't get Blink RP'd. And, yep. They're going to leave the Earthshaker outside just in case. And also the Phoenix up on top. So, pretty good positioning, or actually very good positioning coming out from the Dire. Radiant know what's happening, and they're drawing on the map here, but I don't think they're going to make it in time. This Roche is going down not that fast, but he's already there. He's done. They smoke up.
Guy, he got himself
Rubik doesn't get to be a part of that, but they're going to look to try and go for it anyway. They see the Lina up there. Oh no! It just blinks right into an enchant totem that gets everybody, but the Lina's might be going down. She gets hit with the impale. Yeah, she's definitely going to go down. Phoenix is going to dive in. He's going to try to swoop. Maybe he'll try to get the egg off. He's definitely not. He definitely didn't get the egg off. So that was pretty unfortunate. Maybe he wanted to wait for it. He knew he was going to die anyway. He didn't have any backup. Slark trying to come in the back, but looks like he's a little bit too slow. They still got the impale. Man, this is a unhappy Rubik, but he gets the RP, goes to this BKB. He's going to Shadow Dance it. He's got the BKB going still, so he's going to be A-okay. Pounces out of there. Earthshaker comes in. He's got the Blink Echo Slam. Hits it on a few. Dang, he gets absolutely bopped. Disruption to dodge that skewer, And the Lina stun hits on the Magnus, and he gets Laguna Bladed down, but Slark's going ham in the back.
Top tower. It's under attack.
It's a 2-for-3 trade so far, and it looks like they're going to get this bristle back. Yeah, he doesn't have much of a way to get out of here. He's going to have the silver edge here if he wants to activate. No, they don't even need it. And Killer bristle back. So a 3-for-3 trade, but definitely going in the favor of the Dire. Shadow Fiend does survive, which is at least something, but they lose their Magnus, their Bristleback, and their Lion. And now after all this time, if we look over here at net worth, Slark has slowly crept his way up there. He's got 5.6k up on him. He's basically just waiting for that Aegis to expire. And then after that, I'm gonna assume maybe an Abyssal Blade to come out to counter the BKBs coming out on Shadow Fiend and Magnus. But they've got the momentum. They're gonna push out here. It was just maybe 5 minutes ago, maybe less, that they hadn't even taken this first tier 1 in on the Radiant side. But now they're gonna take out this tier 2. Oh, Psycho's in really aggressively. He might lose the Aegis for this. Oh, just whips the RP. Oh man, Dr. Zeus is not happy right now. He gets blown up by the Laguna Blade. Gets a stun onto the Shadow Fiend. Oh, Laguna Blade gets stolen and uses a beam down Alina. Phoenix Egg goes off. Doesn't really do much. Kind of zones out the Radiant. So 1-for-1 trade so far. We got the Magnus for the Lina. RP was used and not to great effect. Echo Slam was also used, I believe. Oh no, wait, X Slam wasn't even used. So they've got the Blink Echo Slam and kind of follow up to we have the Slark, but he's already hightailed it to the top lane, so they're gonna get out. Yep, Slark picked up he's already got the Basher on the Crow Ear, and he'll wait for that for when he dies or he doesn't die, whatever. Lion finishes his Zags. He's a happy Lion. He's waiting for that RP, but it's a hard life for this Magnus because Slark is such a slippery fish that the only way they can really keep a hold of him is that RP. So he's got a pretty big weight on his shoulders. A lot of heavy lifting to do for this team, and you kind of see it how that turned out. That first, or the earlier fights where maybe he hits an RP on Slark or on another. Oh wait, might have an engagement here. Nope, hits the RP earlier. The fights go heavily, not heavily in their favor, but goes way better. And then he whiffs it, and that Magnus didn't really do much after that. Maybe empowers the Bristleback, gets some damage up, but yeah. Let's see what we've got over here. We've got a 4-step picked up by Shadow Demon. Bristleback's going for, maybe there's a casual Ogre Club. Looks like he's trying to finish up an Octarine Core. It's pretty legitimate on Bristleback. All those spines start stacking, and the lifesteal from the spines really starts to add up. Then we're gonna take a short break here. Need a quick reconnect. And the way this game is looking, it's pretty back and forth. I feel like EMPOW4 made the game way harder than it needed to be. They kind of got crushed maybe earlier in the mid game. I think it was the Shadow Fiend was just so big then, and now they're finding ways that the Slark's caught up. He's gotten way fatter. He's able to deal with the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend isn't as threatening as he was. And looks like they're going to go for a different approach. They said, you know, we tried on all these different lanes, but we haven't tried top yet. There's still a tier 2 up there. We kept throwing our bodies at those Bracks bottom. Let's try for these up top. Daedalus finished up on our Shadow Fiend here now. He's really hitting hard.
I'll take that.
Yep, and that Aegis runs out. Abyssal Blade is picked up on the Slurk. I'm gonna make a play for this top tier, dude. It goes down pretty easily.
Top tower's just died. Yeah, oh, sad, really.
The Dire team, they don't want to have anything to deal with that. So you know what? You just take it. Octarine Core finished on the Bristleback. He's going to hopefully enjoy some more longevity in some of these fights. And maybe if they can get the Bristleback into the fights a little bit earlier. Maybe not a lot. I hear a Laguna Blade. The Laguna Blade creep. Oh, but Slurk gets a pick off on the Lion. And do they have the dust? Oh, everyone's here. They're going to blow the RP on it. They're just going to chunk him down.
No cell can hold me.
Oh, man, that was Slark in the wrong place, wrong time. The rest of the team was there. The Magnus was there. Maybe they're baiting out that Lion, and Slark bit pretty hard. So RP was used, but definitely gosh, what I'm trying to say. Used well. That's, you know. Anyway, double damage on the Shadow Fiend made that a lot easier to beat that fish down. It's gonna run out, but they're heading they're heading straight towards this bottom lane. Bristleback's gonna take out this entire creep wave with a couple swings and a couple quills. And if he can get up in it, he can maybe get some quills on. It looks like no, he's just gonna fissure. Yeah, he's gonna try to get some quills on Earthshaker so he can't blink, but I'm not gonna do it. And actually, it looks like Lion TP's back. Okay, says it is the team without Slark. He can do it without me. And almost gets the blink skewer, but these racks are going down pretty hard. They need. Echo Slam comes in, gets it on 3. Phoenix dives in, gets the Shiva's guard. Earthshaker does die for it. He's still got the Supernova. He might have to use it here. Activates it, and Shadow Fiend just takes out the racks, and they just dip. They don't even want any part of that. So, good opportunity for Nude. Oh, and then Shadow Fiend's going to come back in. He's going to try to go for this Lina. And he's not going to get her yet. He's getting... Oh, yeah, he gets the Purge down. Now he's going to try to turn. He's not going to get it. Man, that Demonic Purge is really making life difficult for the Shadow Fiend. He went back, tried to make a play on the Lina when his whole team was there. I don't know, getting a little too big for his britches. Pays for it. Now the Slark's back up. They do lose their whole bottom lane of racks, so they are 2 racks down, and it's looking pretty dire. Man, I did not mean to do that. I'm so sorry. It's looking pretty grim for the Dire here. But they do pick up a Hex on Lina. Slark's swooping around. Oh, he just misses. Oh, he might find him here. Gets the... He doesn't want to BKB for just a solo kill, does he? He gets the pounce off anyway. Doesn't have the Geometry Sight, though. Slark was picked off earlier. He lost the gem. Rubik picked it up, and now they have... I don't know. Where's the other gem? Yeah, they just have their gem in the base. Seems like he could have filled up that slot, maybe with a TP or something. Oh, man. Lion just... I think there's a whole creep wave trying to keep them out of the base. Gets a little splash damage, but... The Shadow Fiend down, they're still trying to get a little bit of damage here. They don't know that he has buyback, but they're trying to force it. He's up in 20 seconds. Oh, just misses the pounce on the Slark. From the Slark. And all 5 from here are here from the Dire. They'll have Supernova here really soon. Laguna Blade's up. Hex is up. Oh, tries to get the RP on some multiple, but just gets it on the Slark. He gets... the egg goes in, and man, the Abyssal Blade's going to go onto that Magnus, and he's gonna get stunned anyway by the Supernova. Echo Slam comes in, hits on the Shadow Fiend. He hadn't used his BKB yet. He's gonna go down, and now the Slarker looks like he might be in a world of trouble too. He's getting hit down by the Shadow Fiend. On the other side, Lina uses Laguna Blade, maybe tries to take out this Magnus, but doesn't quite get it. Now they're making a mad dash. They're trying to get out. He gets a TP, and oh man, gets crit by the Shadow Fiend. They found him out, and they did not let Lina go. So that was a really great fight coming out from the Radiant, and they got the RP just on the Slark. They didn't manage to kill the Slark until later, so maybe they didn't even need the RP. Magnus came back. Actually, it looks like he bought back, and looks like Lina's gonna buy back too. Earthshaker, he's up in 7s, he's up in 5, so they probably won't waste it on him, but this Phoenix, I'm not exactly sure what the Phoenix could do. And Phoenix comes in, he dives in. They get the disruption onto the Lina, but he's going to get killed anyway. He gets impaled right as he comes back from the Nether Realm. And now it's just up to the 2 supports and the offlaner to stop all of the Radiant team.
Middle tower is under attack.
And I don't think that's a task a little bit too big for even the manliest of three-man squads.
Is under attack. Radiant victory.
And game 1 is going to go to Noodles. Noodle Power. Alright, boys and girls, stick with me. That was game 1 of this best of 2 series between EMPOW4 and Noodle's Way. We'll be jumping right into game 2 here momentarily.